On slide 5 are links for you. What I'm showing is not a new thing, it's an existing thing, an established thing, and all I'm doing is showing how I would use this in the online classroom. So please click the links to Estimation 180, bookmark them, and this is where you can go to get lots and lots and lots of slides and images for this. If we move down to slide 6, this is the first interaction we're going to do. You're going to assign yourself a color. Usually my students are already assigned, but since I didn't know who was coming today, you'll assign yourself. And if you double click in it, it'll show a cursor so other people know that you've claimed it. And make an estimate that is too low. So over on the left-hand side, what's an estimate for how many marshmallows are in 1 cup? And give us an estimate that is too low. Again, if you are wanting to interact with the slides, the link is in the chat box. Give us an estimate that's too low. And so far, our lowest one comes from whoever picked orange. If you would like to, I invite you to turn on your microphone and tell us why you think 20 is too low.
I think it's too low because I can actually count 20. And so I know there's a lot more than that.
Wonderful. Now that we have some thinking here, go over to the too high side. And I'm going to ask that you stick with your same color. So if you used orange previously, then you're going to use orange in the next one. And if you're just joining us, welcome. We are on this link in the chat box. We're down on slide 6, and we're using an Estimation 180 routine.
Okay.
All right. Ooh, these are looking good. I'm very curious about this one. Our lowest too high estimate is 48. And I know for me, that one's getting a little close. So I'm curious, if that was you, I invite you to turn on your microphone and tell us, like, why do you think 48 is too high?
Yeah, what I did is I took the largest ring at the top and I multiplied that by the stack of marshmallows I found. So that was what, 8 times 6?
And what did that 8 times 6 help you to understand?
Well, I was thinking about it in terms of integration. The largest area would essentially be the cup without the narrowing at the bottom. So essentially, I was taking the largest amount before I would subtract the difference.
That's very clever. So you noticed that it got smaller here at the bottom. I have an arrow showcasing that. And so you said if it was a straight cylinder, it might be 48. So if it's squeezed down, it would be less. Am I understanding that right?
Yes, and my minimum estimate was the opposite. It was approximating how much was at the narrowest part, and then also multiplying by the amount of stack.
Cool strategy. All right, now that you've heard a couple strategies, come on down to slide 7. This is where you're going to put like your real guess. So if you were going to guess how many marshmallows were here in all, what answer would you put in? Wow, these guesses really make me wish that I was in the middle of a mean, median, mode, and range unit. All right, let's hear from this green color. If that's you, I invite you to turn on your mic and tell us why 38.
I just looked at the top and noticed there were more, and on the bottom there were less. So I guessed that there were like 5 or 6, and then there's roughly 3 layers that might be 5 to 6, and then I went down a little bit, maybe like 5 or 4, and counted how many layers, and then just added all those together and got roughly 30.
Neat. I tried to gather most of your thoughts there. If anything on there isn't what you were thinking, feel free to edit it. You have that ability.
Oh,
And
wonderful. Thank you.
yeah, a little bit higher up, we've also got 46. If that was you in that kind of peach color, I invite you to turn on your mic and tell us why 46.
Hi, I was listening to the other explained how he got the 48, and then I just and then estimate it.
I love that you're referencing another strategy that we did on another slide there. So very cool. At this point, I would kind of wrap up our questionings. We have some student voice right there on the slides. Typically with younger kids, I will restate what I wrote and I say, is this what you were thinking, to really honor that student voice. With older students, I allow them to go in and edit their what I typed in. And then next up, we do the reveal. Again, this is a product of Estimation 180. I didn't have to do any extra work. So here is the big reveal. At any given time, it's pretty nice to pause it and let students kind of re-estimate if they want. And I like how he slows down here. So like here, the rest are covered, but you know there's only a few left. All right, we got 44. And do we get any 44s on here? We got some really close. Oh, we did get a 44. Very cool. All right, folks, so the protocols that I used are on slide 8. I never try to say that there's one right way of doing things online, but I also like to showcase like what I did in case that can help you all decide what you would like to do. So first I asked for a too high, then a too low. I made sure to honor student voice by having them describe their strategies before we move to the best estimate.